back in my bag on guard.
I think he knows when I play with him like that, when I say to him like that, have my with him like that. I think he knows when I play with him like that, when I say to him like that, that he's coming right back. She's a provocateur, dance floor connoisseur, weeks of Friday for sure. Tell the girls we're taking a detour. Give him hell, yeah. Get these boys out, yeah. She does it well, oh yeah. I do it myself, oh yeah. Candy necklace on my hips, butterflies on my wrist. Put your hands on me like this. Need to go head to toe. PT, she's glossy. Give her one kiss just softly. Tease him and get him me. I think he knows when I play with him like that, when I say to him like that, have my with him like that. I think he knows when I play with him like that, when I say to him like that, that he's coming right back.
Like ice cream or Shanti playing in AMG. Let it rain on me. Love my hair boys, I'm on my knees like that. Lord, please play for me. Save your grace for me. Say boy, what you want? Eat that. Shoot 'em my mouth, shoot 'em my and one. Okay, on the real, I'ma take his out. I'ma take him from his. On the real, I think he knows.
I think he knows when I play with him like that. I think he knows when I say to him like that. He's wrapped around my pinky finger, watching the way I move. More power than on, and he knows it's true. When I play with him like that, when I play with him like that, play with him like that, that he's coming right back.
We about to move, son. Don't talk about it unless you do, son. I make the backyard feel like a stampede. I make a trash car feel like it's a band lead. Hanging like a war hall or like a band seed. And hit the stage, turn the people into family. I'm talking back then, you didn't know me. But you feel it now, acting like the homie. Talking about, hey, can you feel it? Let me know if you feel it right now. Can you feel it? Let me know if you feel it right now. Feel it right now. We about to move, son. Don't talk about it unless you do, son. I said I feel like money on the line. I said I feel like Kobe in his prime, man. Do it for the city, not the ground. I'ma keep it real, 100 grand. Back then, they really didn't know me. But right now, they acting like we're homies. Can you feel it? Let me know if you feel it right now. You feel it right now.
Winter is just around the corner as you get a look at Highmark Stadium just south of Buffalo, New York. calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the... They'll mark him down officially at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Into the air right away is Allen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Here's Allen. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Throwing now is Allen. That'll be caught by the rookie from Penn State. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this is an offense that's near the bottom of the league in rushing, so defensively coming in, you've got to know you're going to see the ball in the air a lot. And that time, it's a completion and a 1st down on this opening drive.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And the Bills hit 6 and 5 now on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
5 wide.
Allen now looks to throw. This one complete to Gresham. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Here's Allen to throw it. Oh, he's going to look end zone here for Pettis. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offense and quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Once again, it's Irving. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A shotgun handoff here to Irvin, and he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, they got a takeaway on the last drive with an interception. How about this sack as a terrific follow-up? And that keeps pressure on this offense, and it could force them into more rushed decisions or another turnover.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Stamper. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. A handoff as they run the counter play. And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up.
You look at this defense for Tampa Bay.
They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
Now Allen.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Bucs are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
It's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth his salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter.
Now a give, Irving running right.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he will have a 1st down here before he gets banged down to the turf pretty hard.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Handoff running left, Irving.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
They'll stay on the ground with Irving.
Gets through, and now an opening. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Now they go screen. It's complete.
On the move past the 40.
And down to the 29-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll set up to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3.
They'll set up a throw. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Bucs are able to extend their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they are certainly playing their best football of the year.
Regular.
To the air, Allen. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Allen going to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Alert! What's that?
Allen. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now.
Here's 2nd and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Alert!
To throw, it's Allen.
That is caught.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
What's that?
Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Look out!
Carter straight ahead.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
What's that?
Now Allen. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
What's that?
They'll run with Carter.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
What's that?
They'll try to run this one in. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal.
Look out!
They'll try to run this one in. And this time he is in. A great effort there.
With his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills have cut it back within a score.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Stamper. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Caught, right side, Gresham. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Alert! Half 85, half 85. Middle.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
2nd and 10.
Half. What's that?
Looking to throw. Allen. He finds his man. Complete. It's Bishop. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a 1st down.
Now Allen again. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. Stamper. He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Stamper. And that is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. Operating from the gun. Allen. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A big play there. 74 yards. And the Bills have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Back to throw. Stamper. Looking middle, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. On the handoff, this is Irving. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 67 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Stamper. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Gregory Rousseau in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun. Stamper. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and a yard. Hands it off out of the gun.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A yard all they need, but it's third down.
Alert! What's that?
Back to throw. Allen.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
He'll find McMillan here.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd and 1. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun. Stamper. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is, who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
They run out of the gun with Irving.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. He's going to air one out. And this is going to fall to the ground incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down. Looking to throw. Allen. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of. And, in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of. Trying to engineer a fourth quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31.
5 wide, 5 wide, 5 wide.
A give up the middle to Carter. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Hey, tight, tight, tight.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. And Gresham has it left side. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back to throw now on first down. Coleman has it here right side. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
The Bills on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Allen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for a fourth quarter lead. And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Straight ahead, it's Irving.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Slot man moves right. From the gun on 3rd down. Stamper. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. A run up the middle with Irving.
And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Now 2nd and 4.
Here's Allen. And a short gain down to about the 33. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Here's 1st down. Here's a handoff to Irving.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Second down, 8 yards to go.
Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
This Buffalo crowd letting him have it. 3rd down now. A run with Irving.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And his kick here is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Allen.
This one complete to Gresham. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
But how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Final minute. No timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. Here's 2nd down. Throwing, Allen. They'll come to the line. This is 3rd and 3.
Alert, alert, alert!
Here's Allen.
Going up top. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
CD, that was an all-or-nothing drive to win this football game, and they rose to the occasion to take the lead here in the waning moments.
And how about how they got it done? No timeouts left. They take it downfield, execute perfectly, and get it done. Now they don't leave their opponent with a heck of a lot of time on the clock.
Point after, right down the middle. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. This is 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw.
This is Robinson.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.